The arrest of Nicolás Maduro is a new chapter in the question of overthrowing dictatorial regimes. Dictatorships are a major problem for the developed world, and the question of what to do with them has been on the agenda for a long time. Systems in which a single person has seized the resources of an entire state, obtained total power through violence and by reshaping the laws to suit himself, and where, because of the absence of checks and balances, he can do whatever he wants, are dangerous for countries where power is elected, where it changes regularly, and where decisions require long deliberation before being taken. A dictator can finance terrorism, promote religious fundamentalism, start wars, fire missiles, send spies, and ignore the rules, and supposedly nothing happens to him for it. Attempts to overthrow dictatorships through military intervention used to lead to enormous losses and civil wars, as in Libya, or to the emergence of even more dangerous regimes, as in Iraq, or to the return of the same bandits as in Afghanistan. It began to seem that in the 21st century there was no remedy against dictators. If you seized power, no one would march on your capital. All that remained was to express deep concern. The inviolability of borders and the inadmissibility of interference gave them a sense of invulnerability. But everything changed on 3 January. Welcome to Euro Shift Channel. Today we'll talk about what if the US repeats the kidnapping of Maduro with other dictators, and is it possible? What does a dictator's power rest on when everyone is already sick of him? Even when, for his own elites, he is the only obstacle to a normal life. And when those elites fall under sanctions because of his wars, why do they not conspire? Because a conspirator has 2 options: success or the destruction of himself and his family. If it is possible to put handcuffs on a hypothetical Putin, the lives of those who do it, whether Mishustin or Deripaska, will improve. They will reach an understanding with the world, lift the sanctions, and return the future to their children. But if they fail, they will be found in 15 different graves. Being an elite under a dictator is risky, but attempting a coup is even riskier. So the elites choose conformism. But what if there were a way to make a deal with an external power so that it would send a blue helicopter, remove the dictator, put him on trial somewhere far away, and provide external legitimacy to the new authorities? That is exactly what the Americans have done. Instead of a full-scale invasion of Venezuela, the Americans simply came with a laparoscope and precisely removed the source of inflammation. They do not touch the local elites, but say to them, now you are the power, we will do business. No purges and no confiscations. It turned out that a head of state is not a magical figure, but an ordinary person who can be put into a helicopter. Take Iran, for example. There is the fanatic Khamenei, and there is a secular bureaucracy that wants to trade oil. If Israel sends special forces and takes the deranged old man to Jerusalem to stand trial, the bureaucracy will only sigh with relief. In every such regime, at the very top sits a leader living in a world of pure abstractions, caliphates, multipolar worlds, historical grievances, and one floor below sit careerists and opportunists. They do not care whether they organize jihad or a pride parade, as long as it helps their career. And now it seems that things have started to move. In Iran, since the end of December, protests have been going on for 2 weeks. Protests the Islamic Republic has never seen before. The chair under the Ayatollah is wobbling badly, and if the Ayatollah tries to swat those who are shaking his chair with his slipper, Trump threatens to stand up for the protesters. It looks as if the Ayatollah faces the same fate as Maduro. Most likely, Khamenei will be taken to Israel. The elites of dictatorial countries understand Trump's language. Why spend billions on ruins near Pokrovsk when you can make money? For the entire Russian nomenclatura, except Putin himself, Trump's offer to come to terms over the money sounds excellent. The same Kirill Dmitriev, who negotiates on Russia's behalf, would have signed everything back in February if it were not for the thorn called Putin. Judging by the hysteria of the propaganda of dictatorial regimes, the message has reached its addressees. If the dictator is unhinged, one can make a deal with those below him. We will come to you as surgeons with tweezers to remove the rotting part of your body that is causing everyone trouble, and you simply do not interfere, do not shoot down our helicopter, Afterwards, life will be easier for you and for us. In Belarus, the situation is the same. Why play at a parody collective farm and report on shit-covered cows when you can be the elite of a European country? Why prevent Lukashenko's departure to Dublin to stand trial for aerial terrorism? When they take him away, you can express formal outrage at the UN and quietly divide up power yourselves. The paradox is that Trump, who does not like to talk about human rights, has become the most dangerous enemy for dictators. The dictator does not need money, he has finished the game. But his entourage, bureaucrats, and security men very much need money and status. Trump offers them a deal: hand over the leader and you keep what you have. In the world of rules, the dictator and the elite were in the same boat. In Trump's world, in different ones. Putin tried to bind everyone with blood through the Security Council and through cannibalistic laws so that no one would shake their hand. Trump does not care, he will shake any hand. You can sit in a personal Versailles, but if you are constantly waiting for a drone or an arrest because of a stubborn boss, the option hand him over and fly to the Côte d'Azur looks tempting. For example, on 7 January, in a single day, the United States seized 2 Russian tankers from the so-called Shadow Fleet. An American boarding party landed on a Russian vessel located between Iceland and Britain. The vessel and its crew were seized in the presence of Russian warships. They were nearby, but did not come to its aid. We are witnessing a staggering story of how, in the name of his own ambitions, someone began to smash international law and in the end steered straight into a national humiliation, the like of which one can hardly recall. Putin responded to the sanctions roughly as follows: I couldn't care less about your laws and rules. We will buy tankers for scrap, hang the flag of a country whose ship register is kept in cuneiform, and ship oil wherever we want. We are outside the law, so what are you going to do about it? Those who do not like civilized laws will have to live by the rules of the criminal world. The Russian leadership has settled comfortably into we will trade underground. And if the US engages in piracy against you, will you go to court? As in, save us? Racketeers are terrorizing our illegal trade. You chose to become smugglers, they chose to become pirates. In the end, bigger bandits rob smaller ones. The sailors hoisted the flag, thinking it would protect them. The Americans were not impressed. Putin will not have the nerve to jump on American ships in response. All that remains is to express deep concern, just like the weak Europeans. Only the Europeans at least supplied weapons to Ukraine, while Putin did not say a single kind word about his ally Maduro, who ended up in a New York remand prison. Trump understands very well that out there in the ocean float things with property worth billions that exist outside international law and that they can be taken and sold. He will take them and sell them. Whoever takes them owns the oil. It turns out that this dirty game of taking other people's property, whether land or tankers, is not one that only Putin can play. And when the biggest thug joins in, a year of humiliation begins for the Russian thug. International law has been thrown out of the window. That is bad, but it is ironic that the losers are those who themselves dreamed of this lawlessness. Bullies do well in an elite school for high achievers, but in a college where all the dunces go, they are quickly put in their place. When the world plays by the rules, you look like a hero, but when Trump plays against you, it turns out that you cannot kidnap anyone, but you very much can be kidnapped. All one can wish dictators as pleasant neighbors in Brooklyn jail.